Hello there! Fortnite's island is about to be wrecked by an almighty sandstorm, and something new is coming, known as the Wanderer. Before Season 3 drops, let's recap the Myths and Mortals storyline, from the return of Midas and his crew, to a vengeful Greek god, and the constant reminder that Peely is seriously important to the future of Fortnite. A quick thanks to those 17 people who used my creator code today. Thank you very much, I appreciate you. Let's do this! After defeating last season's bad guys, the Society, we discovered Valeria here was searching through Greek myth for Pandora's box, an object of power with untold gifts inside. She then somehow awoke a dormant titan protecting the box under our feet. And loopers being loopers, couldn't help ourselves and we all opened that chest. The unknown force inside housed the souls of the damned, and it was only a matter of time until someone noticed. Suddenly, the island was overrun by the gods of the Greek pantheon. The Hound of Hell, Cerberus, and his master Hades brought the Underworld to Fortnite, and the immortal warrior king Zeus arrived along with Mount Olympus and an enormous statue that became relevant 10 weeks later. We'll get to that soon. Other gods included Poseidon, god of the sea, Artemis, goddess of the hunt, and Aphrodite, the goddess of sexy time. Zeus made his feelings known right away. He does not appreciate mortal kind, and humanity's days are numbered. Maybe we should have left that box alone. The first week on the island also brought back a bunch of characters linked to Midas, a character from years ago who controlled his own Spec Ops unit and once was Deadpool's boss. True story. Oh, and the new way to receive missions this season was via a scrying pool. By speaking to the Oracle, we were given a mission to impress the gods enough to prove humanity is worth saving. Starting with giving the God of War a kicking. No, not that God of War. The week ended with a prophecy, which is coming true right now.
Darkened skies, choking dust, hope lost and found again. Now is the time to build your alliance with the Immortals.
Week 2 of the season confirmed our hopes. Midas was indeed on this island. He was kept prisoner in the Underworld. Yet, as soon as we went to look, he had already broken out. The man with the golden touch was indeed the same one we read about as children in Greek mythology. Yet this one uses his golden touch to break out of his shackles and unalive the part-time security staff. This was Midas's first official act since he created a way to break the Fortnite loop and accidentally flooded the entire island. Midas was free after all this time. He had a great deal of time to plan his escape, and this is what he chose: enchanting the nearby volcanoes to spout molten gold magma and then flood the island again. While Zeus and co were clambering to stay above the rising gold, Midas snuck away back to his yacht, commandeered by the Ghost Unit. The following week, we dove deeper into the lore of Midas by completing missions for his crew. His daughter began designing a way to control his golden touch. His faithful number 2 Brutus happily gave the shadow unit back to Midas after being accused of being an imposter. He wasn't though, false alarm. And the rest of the crew ran distraction missions to allow Midas to get to safety. Not a single god saw him, and a few days later, he totally left the island, potentially forever. Week 4, 1 month into the season, and an iceberg is spotted floating towards the island with an orb that looked like it could be the 0 point. No, of course it wasn't. This block of ice was brought here for an Avatar crossover. All the benders joined the island: earth, air, fire and water, and the bald child with a tattoo on his head. Is now a good time to admit I've never seen a single episode of Avatar. Maybe it's time I educated myself. Only story update this week came down at Midas's yacht, as Brutus here was the last one of the shadow unit left on the island, making last minute changes to their next adventure. And with that, the golden yacht left once again. Will we see these guys ever again? I do hope so. It's week 5 of the Myths and Mortals season, and finally we receive a mission regarding the actual storyline. We answer the phone to Aphrodite, who lets us read historically accurate Festus discs. These immortal edicts were effectively notes written by the gods. I'll let the Oracle explain.
This is written by Zeus himself. Aphrodite has apparently grown sympathetic to your cause. Zeus, on the other hand, does not.
Long story short, by intercepting these correspondents, we are able to quickly learn Poseidon is a fan of mortals, mainly the wobbly blobs, but hey, we'll take any support we can. The real progress we made this week was to recruit Artemis, the goddess of the hunt, who says Zeus, his plan for mortals violate the rules of the hunt, and she will stand with us against him. That was easy. There was also one more piece of lore this week. It may not be important right now, but it will be to the future. After we rescued Peely from the society last season, he finally came back to the island, setting up a camp south of restored Reals. He somehow intercepted one of the gods' edicts, and this should have no consequence, but listen to what the oracle says.
You should know that Banana seems to be a linchpin holding together all of reality. Do with that information what you may.
Peely is a linchpin holding together all of reality. Whatever that means, I can't wait to find out. In fact, he already saved reality when he learnt to drive in Chapter 3 and delivered the world's largest slurp juice to the mech. Captain Potassium here has always been important. Week 7 arrived with another mission to recruit gods to our feud with Zeus. Zeus has commanded Cerberus to find out our plans. The thing is, Cerberus will ignore his orders if we help him find something extremely important. Are you ready for how important this object is? It's a giant tennis ball, because Cerberus is just a big dog. Yeah, it's an incredibly weak story this time around, but you get the idea. Especially when you realise Hades, the god of the dead in the Underworld, he kinda likes us now simply because we helped his dog. Yeah. Week 8, 2 whole months into the season, and it's May the 4th, Star Wars Day. Chewbacca landed on the island as well as Anakin on his annual holiday. A quick shout out to the LEGO mode, which had the biggest crossover this year, including a pretty cool mini live event with a Star Destroyer crashing down. Genuinely, very cool to watch. It's week 9, the final story mission of the season unlocked. The impending war with Zeus is just around the corner, and we need to talk to a lady with pretty hair, Medusa. The Gorgon lady may be a villain in our version of Greek myth, but in Fortnite world, she's a reliable friend. We are asked to go to Olympus and steal Zeus's hourglasses and a Harpy's sword, and it's revealed that Zeus's power is linked to the sands of time. Oracle can explain this better than me.
I have seen the truth. The immortality of the Olympians is not absolute. It has a source, and that source can always be destroyed. This artifact is a source of Zeus's power. Destroy them!
In the final face-off of the season, armed with a simple charm from the Underworld, we destroy the item that keeps Zeus in his seat of power, his storm-forged hourglass. With this finally destroyed, a battle to the death can begin. At this point, I was expecting all the gods we've helped and recruited over the season to stand beside us to defeat Zeus. But hell no, that would take too much effort from Epic Games. Instead, it's one-on-one, mortal versus mortal, and we prevail, Zeus is defeated, humanity is saved. This must be the end of the story, right? But there's still one more piece to this puzzle. The Oracle has some chilling news.
You have won a great victory for humanity. But your war has not yet begun. Storm clouds gather. The Wanderer draws near. Even in the darkness, hope will guide you.
The Wanderer approaches. I wonder if that will be a hero or a new nemesis. Week 10, the final few days of Chapter 5 Season 2 Myths and Mortals is here. We learn that before Zeus faced his final demise, he left us one last gift, empowering the soldier of Olympus, bringing the stone statue to life. As the lightning crackled, the giant finally moved, and this happened. Pandora's box, the whole reason Zeus arrived in the first place, was struck by lightning. But thankfully, it held up strong. 24 hours later, it happened again. Pandora's box once again stood strong, but then there was a third time, and this happened. Buried back down underground, something escaped. A spark that flew into the distance, causing an explosion and a cloud. In Greek myth, the last thing in that box is hope, whereas this time around, a Morse code flash could be translated, and it translates as no hope. Something is on its way. As the sand edges closer, we should look back at what the Oracle told us 10 weeks ago.
Darkened skies, choking dust, and doom is on the horizon.
Season 3 of Fortnite Chapter 5 will bring forward the reckoning, and a new friend, or nemesis, named the Wanderer.
The Wanderer draws near.
And was that the Chaos Agent in the trailer? Prepare yourself to get wrecked. I'm Adam, you're awesome, it's been a pleasure, I'll see you next season.